What's up everybody, Superdrux fan here for another car review. This is of course the 2016 Scion IM. Huge thanks to Toyota for providing me with this very cool Scion to review for you guys today. So, as many of you know, Scion is on its way out, but this car will continue to live on as a Toyota, and I think that it's really cool regardless of what badge it has. It's just very cool, the ground effects kit in the front here, and it looks more expensive than it really is. These are under 20,000 bucks, and you have very cool projector headlamps there, and this awesome blue paint. It's a very cool hatchback shape, but like I said, with the ground effects kit that it kind of has on it, looks really cool. You have LED taillights in the back there, and overall, I think just from every single angle, it's a pretty cool looking little hatchback. As for the interior of the Scion IM, it's really nice. I sat in this thing for the first time and I was like, holy crap, this is way nicer than I was expecting for a car that's less than 20,000 bucks. So anyway, first things first, sitting down in these seats, they're pretty good. They're soft, comfortable cloth, and the thigh bolstering is a little bit on the wide side, but I'm being kind of nitpicky here because the torso support is ideal. I mean, really, really nice seats. And normally in stuff that's not super sporty, you kind of get disappointed with the seats, but with these, I mean, even a skinny guy like myself is really hugged in nicely, and so yeah, really great seats. Next is the steering wheel in the IM, which is again surprisingly super nice. We got this stitching here going on the inside of the rim of the wheel, and really nice 9-3 grip, good little 10-2 notches. You got some nice assortment of buttons on here that actually reminds me a lot of a Lexus, and overall I think it's actually got these little metal bits here and a pretty nice and attractive wheel that just feels great to use too. Next are the gauges in the IM, which are pretty good. I mean, they're your standard basic gauges. We got the nice blue background there, and just everything you need, nothing you don't. That center screen is actually nice in color, pretty high resolution as well. There's not too many features on it, aside from the miles per gallon and customizing a couple of things, but very, very limited amount of information there. But still cool nonetheless to have a color center display, again, on a car that's this inexpensive is really impressive. Coming along to the center of the dashboard here, again, really nice. You got this metal trim here, the piano black finish, and all just really impressive. You got a touchscreen head unit here as standard, which has Bluetooth audio, standard, Bluetooth phone calling, as well as AM, FM radio, and all that kind of stuff. Does not have satellite radio, unfortunately, but otherwise, really nice, great, Pioneer head unit, very responsive, easy to use, and yeah, no complaints there whatsoever. And then coming down to the climate controls here, again, super nice. Honestly, I think these are nicer than the controls on a BMW, honestly, than the 3 Series I just reviewed not too long ago. Really nice. I mean, you have these little rocker switches for changing things, a pretty nice display there as well, and these cool blue lighting, and all the buttons feel really high quality and everything else. Again, I would expect this stuff in something like a really nice Toyota or a Lexus, but to be in Scion that's less than 20,000 bucks, again, I'm just super impressed with this interior. And so one thing I can knock it is you have this very nice soft padded leather feeling material here on the driver's side to protect your knee in case you're resting it on the transmission tunnel here. And that's nice that it's on this side, but it's not on the passenger side, which is kind of an obvious corner cutting thing. If you're going to put it on one side, put it on the other. I don't think it'd be that much more to include one more little pad over here. But yeah, that's the only thing I can knock as far as the interior goes. You have other, this other brightly colored leather type material here that's lining as well, and really just super nice, honestly. Nicer than a lot of stuff that's much more expensive, and so overall super impressed with this interior. Next is the shifter here. This is a manual transmission, and it's really nice. It's a long throw though, and the gears are pretty widely spaced out, so it's takes your whole arm to shift it there, but it's a light shifter, so it doesn't take a lot of muscle, and all the gears are easy to find, which is really nice. As far as storage space in the IM here, it's really good. So you have a little map pocket here, and then a bottle holder in the door, and then coming over to the center here, you have this nice little cubby that's large enough to fit a cell phone or an iPod, something like that. You have a power outlet in there, and then you also have a USB and an auxiliary jack, so nice to have those right in there. And then you have your 2 standard cup holders here, and then you have the center armrest, which does have some cloth padding on it, but it's if you have pointy elbows, then it'll still feel pretty hard. Could use use a little more padding there, but still nice that they include any at all at this price point. And anyway, this is two-tiered storage here. You have this little top tray, and then you also have this deeper bottom tray here, which doesn't have any more power outlets or anything like that, but that's okay. You just have a nice large cubby space there, and so great to have that. Backseat space in the IM is really good, actually. You know, I mean, I'm 5'9", me sitting behind myself. I still have several inches of legroom there and have a couple inches of headroom as well. Headroom isn't super plentiful, but this does have a little bit of a racier profile to it than a standard super boxy hatchback. But again, like I said, you could probably fit someone 6 foot or less in there pretty easily in the back, and so overall, still a pretty nice and roomy back seat. Trunk space in the IM is pretty good. So, you know, it's obviously just a hatchback, so you have lots of room there. It's not super deep, but it is, you know, nice and wide, and you can fold the rear seats down, and then it'll make it even more versatile. But if you are to lift up, there is a spare tire under that cover there, and there's not any additional storage really, but you do have little cubbies there on both sides in the corners. And overall, I'd say it's a pretty nice and usable hatch still. All right, so starting to go for a drive. The Scion here has a nice, cool switchblade key, similar to the Volkswagens, but I actually like this one a little bit better. It's kind of cool, and just hit the button, slip that out, and slip it into the key slot, and it starts right up. All right, so setting off in the 2016 Scion IM. So the first thing that you'll notice is these manual transmission ones, at least this one in particular, has 5,000 miles on it, and the clutch lets out very high, very towards the top, and so it takes a little getting used to, because normally new cars, the clutch catches pretty low and very early on. This, it's a little bit more delayed, so you just got to get used to that. Other things to note though right off the bat is it's pretty smooth. You know, the clutch is light, by the way, but you know, it's very smooth in its operation, you know, with the manual. It's a very easy car to drive manual, so I think it'd be a really great starter car for those looking to learn manual. It has a hill start assist, so it won't roll back on a hill on you and stuff like that, which is always nice. But yeah, see, I keep like revving it too high and then like starting off because I'm expecting the clutch to catch and it's not, and the engine's just revving. Other things you notice though is it's actually a very quiet, smooth, and refined ride. I'm amazed just how smooth the ride is and how well it soaks up bumps. It's really impressive. It doesn't feel cheap or inexpensive in any way. Visibility is also very good in the IM. You have a pretty good view forward there. The hood drops down nicely so you can't even see it from the driver's seat, and side windows are really great. You have a pretty thin A-pillar there, and the window goes all the way down so you can see you know, very good out of the sides here. View out of the back is pretty good as well. Alrighty, so let's turn onto this straight road here first and see how it does. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Not the best performance, but it only has a little 1.8 liter naturally aspirated engine, 4-cylinder, that does 137 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. So not a whole lot to work with here. And so because of that, 0 to 60 time is 8.9 seconds, which again isn't quick in anybody's book. But, you know, it does a pretty decent job for what it has here, because this is a fairly lightweight vehicle. This is under 3,000 pounds at 2,950. So that certainly helps it out and makes it, you know, a little more lively than you would expect from a car with those numbers. On a main road here, though, just cruising, you know, it's a nice and, you know, refined thing to drive. There's a little more wind noise now that I'm picking up speed here, but still not obnoxious and much better than most other things in this price bracket. If you do take it easy and just cruise in the IM, you can get really great gas mileage. I'll be driving this car for an entire week, and I'll come back and give you my final real-world fuel economy of what I got. But the car is rated, I think, 27 in the city and like 38 on the highway here. So, you know, really great if you're looking for a car that gets good fuel economy. But you do pay the price. You know, I'm in 5th gear at 2,000 RPM going up a hill, and it's not really got much more to give. You know, so you're going to have to work the gearbox and, you know, really make the most of the little bit of power you do have. All right, so now let's turn onto this back road here and see how it does. So yeah, it's definitely not the most impressive power-wise, but it's playful and fun. It's one of those cars you can drive really hard and it's satisfying. Going around corners is satisfying as well here. This car, I mean, it's really keeps surprising me. We got 225 wide tires on here, which may help it, because that's actually wider tires than the Scion FRS. And you know, like I said, because of the light weight of less than 3,000 pounds, this thing actually feels really light in its feet, really sharp and precise. I'm liking the steering feel. Oh man, yeah, everything, it feels really, really well done. It's actually pretty sharp. Brakes feel really good as well. I think the handling is the best thing about this car. It handles really, really sharply, like it's on rails. It's fun to toss into corners. Just you check it in. You can kind of drive this car rough, you know. You just kind of drive it like you stole it, and it takes it and it just thrives on that kind of driving. And it'll take a lot of what you'll dish out. I mean, obviously you'll find limits eventually, because it's not the most advanced car in the world for cornering. But I mean, for what it is, a little, you know, hatchback. It's really fun. Like I said, these seats hold you in really well, so it's actually really fun in the background. I'm having a good time here. So very, very impressive little thing, I gotta say. If I wanted a brand new car for less than 20,000 bucks, I'd give this a good hard look. It's really, really way better than I was expecting. So anyway, I'm gonna drive this car around for an entire week, and I'll come back and give you my updated impressions. Alright, so I've been driving the 2016 Scion IM for almost a week now, and this little thing has really grown on me. It is just so much fun to drive, and that's actually a really bold statement for something with 134 horsepower. You know, it definitely doesn't have a lot of power, and it's not going to blow you away or even impress you really as far as power is concerned. But it's just the handling of this little thing. It's so fun and playful. And, you know, as I drive this car, the thing that keeps popping up in my mind is how much it reminds me of my Mini that I had, an R56 Mini Cooper S. Really fun little thing, you know, another little hatchback that's a lot of fun to drive. And that's what this kind of reminds me of. Now, this doesn't have as much power, and the handling isn't quite as sharp as, you know, the handling in the Mini, but it's the same kind of character and the same kind of flavor. You know, you can just toss it in the corners, you kind of beat the crap out of it, and it takes it all day and loves it, and just that very playful attitude that is a ton of fun. And so I think this is it's a really compelling car. I mean, if you think about it, I don't think you could really do much nicer of an interior for under $20,000. This one, destination included, $19,500. Like, that is really, really tough to beat, you know, with all the soft touch materials in here, and you know, all the nice, just the way everything looks is nicely done. And yeah, it's just a really, really nice interior, and that alone would be a really good reason to get this car for, you know, if you're looking for something under 20,000 bucks. But that, combined with the four-door practicality, versatility of a hatchback, the phenomenal fuel economy. In the week that I've been driving it here, I've been getting well into the 28 mile per gallon range, and I haven't even done any highway driving really. It's been mostly just city, and so, you know, with a few highway jaunts, that average would get picked up really quick. So I mean, you know, this car is rated at 28 in the city, and then I think like 39 on the highway. So I mean, phenomenal fuel economy, and I could easily see this car even surpassing those numbers. But unlike the Mini, one of the best things about this car is its reliability, and that is huge because, you know, on top of having this really fun, playful, super affordable, good-looking, nice to drive little thing, is it's cheap, and that doesn't come at a price. It's cheap, but it still is going to, you know, be very reliable. I mean, it has a super reliable, you know, old school inline 4-cylinder engine. Nothing crazy on it, not a whole lot of stuff that can go wrong with it. And Toyotas, of course, have had phenomenal reliability records, so you can drive it and not have to worry about, you know, things going wrong like the Mini and many other vehicles that this competes against. And so it's really, I think, honestly, if I was looking for something under $20,000 that was a versatile hatchback, and I wanted, you know, good fuel economy and something fun to drive around in, and I wasn't worried about speed, this would be my choice. Like, I don't think there's anything you can buy brand new for under $20,000 that I would rather have over this. So yeah, that's about as high of praise as I can give this car, honestly. I mean, it's just a really impressive thing to drive. Lots and lots of fun, and I think the only way it could be made better is if they gave it more power. You know, maybe put the Toyota 86 engine in this, and you know, give it a 200 horsepower and a little more torque. And I think this could be really cool in like a sport trim or something like that. But that's just on the wish list. I think overall it's a fantastic little option. And so anyway, let me know your thoughts on the IM, and thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.